Oh God!
Cut that out. Cut it out.
What is it? 7? Episode 7?
Episode 7
Well,
of Cheese Money Podcast.
there were no H's in it.
Episode
SHEVHENH.
Settle down over there, Sean Connery.
Flannery.
I almost said Sean Penn. That would have been right.
Sean Flannery. I'm sorry if I get aroused.
Sean Patrick Flannery.
Yeah.
What
is it? Elkin and James Harris.
Elkin and James Harris.
What?
Nothing. So how was the week? How was the weeks? Feeling better than last week, Achro?
Much better.
No.
Talking to Achro.
I went right into from stomach ulcer to possibly corona. Maybe just allergies.
Okay, no.
I don't know, man. It's like,
you really think?
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. I have a pretty serious cough right now. I'm gonna try to contain it. So if you see me going,
are you staying away from the baby and stuff?
That's me trying to not cough. No, the baby's sick. The baby's also sick. That's why I think it's just a cold. But
did they ever give you any idea what might have caused the ulcer, or just one of them things?
Bacteria, or so it was either like gastritis or bacteria. Something caused the
nasty ass.
Yeah, clean your belly out, fool.
I have. Art was telling me like what the inside of your stomach looks like, and I had to ask him to please stop because
he doesn't know anything about the inside of my stomach.
Well, he knows more about your insides than you might think. Yeah.
Talking about my insides.
So, but I feel okay. I think I'm getting over it now. The coughing is going away.
You probably don't have corona.
I probably don't.
Yeah, just
How about you?
Quit being a pussy. I'm fine.
Vengels, how was the week?
Much
How them vengels hanging?
Slow and low, baby.
Slow?
It's like slow motion in reference to the rest of your body.
Go to the doctor. What seems to be the problem? Well, testicles just a little slow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Better, much better. Works all
better,
right. Works pretty good. Yeah.
Better than what? What was wrong last week? Just a bad week? I don't remember.
Yeah, just some like family stuff, personal stuff.
Oh, okay.
And
how's the fence holding up?
Fine.
I thought you said, "How's your fence hole?" And I was like,
"How's your fence hole?" It's good.
How's your fence hole?
It's good. It's, I don't know how long it's gonna last because they're like, paint your fence, and I'm like, why? And they're like, because it's gonna soak up all the water and then it's gonna rot faster. And I'm like, okay, I'll paint it.
So what?
Yeah. No.
What do I care?
I actually do, because the fence was a pain in my ass.
There you go. I had a good week.
Okay.
You did have a good week?
I got my I did. Twitch numbers are shooting up. We got the partner app sent in, so now we wait about, I don't know, 8 or 9 weeks to hear back on that.
Yeah. No, dude, those morning streams are high.
Yeah, this morning was ridiculous, man. Made it for the evening being a little slow, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I was telling you last night. I hit my like natural average last night, so that felt good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's an ugly face you're making, dude. That's disgusting.
Really is really bad.
What's that face you used to make?
I hate that.
When you would like squeeze your like cheeks and your so bad.
We used to compete to see who could make the ugliest faces.
That would win. That would win most competitions.
I got some.
That reminds me of like the little dude from what was the space, like the Disney? Oh, here we go. Oh my, that looks fake.
Too. That looks like a meme.
That looks like a Play-Doh face.
Looks like a hand-drawn meme.
It looks like those things
that looks fake,
where you squeeze them and the insides come popping out.
Oh god. That's funny.
Oh man, was it Treasure Planet? Was that the movie with the little guy?
Like the frog, like the little frog
the little frog guy. That's what you look like.
I don't think that's it.
Dude, Treasure Planet was lit.
It's a cartoon, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I should address the fact that I don't have a new mug this week.
Because
I
he's
decided,
poor.
Fucking peasant.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Get your money up, you little bitch.
My man had to
Excuse my
cancel
language.
his mug subscription box. It was getting out of hand.
These hard times are laying on everybody, man.
Yeah. I just realized I'm going to end up with way too many mugs way too fast.
Just
I'm
go
already running
outside.
out of spots for them. So
Go outside all masked up and be like, "Hey, you want?" They just start handing out coffee
I'm
mugs.
Oprah with coffee mugs.
Or you just return them. Just use them for a week and return them.
I don't think they work like clothes at Macy's. Yeah, this one didn't have the right sip, and it was just it wasn't working.
The
Yeah.
right sip.
But yeah, that's why. So I'll occasionally pop out a new mug, but I can't do it every week. That's gonna get obnoxious.
Not to be really like off topic because it is related, but Treasure Planet.
Probably not.
Whenever I think of that movie, I think of Titan AE, which was one of my favorite movies as a kid growing up. I thought it was so freaking cool. It was like
I don't even know what that is.
What? You don't know what Titan AE is? It had these aliens.
It kind of sounds familiar.
It was a cartoon movie, and it was like space exploration. This dude was like on a pirate ship type thing, and it had these aliens, like blue aura type aliens that looked like the aliens from Independence Day. It was a super cool movie.
I feel like I remember the name.
I want to say Matt Damon voice.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Is that a Matt Damon impression?
Yeah.
No, Team America.
He said,
"Hi, I'm Matt Damon."
He just went with it, and I was like, "No, it's from an actual thing." Yeah, no, that's 100% my Matt Damon impression.
I need to stop with this drink, man. I'm drinking.
I thought he was in the call for a second. Yeah, you're gonna have to get up and get a refill, like before we even.
Holy is that Matt?
Dude,
special
fan.
guest. Yeah.
You watch the podcast too?
Oh man.
All right. So I want to talk about. No, I'm just kidding. This is going to be a pretty broad. I feel like we're gonna cover a lot of different things here.
I hope
so.
Didn't you like just finish like getting the topics together like 15 minutes ago?
Topic together.
The one. This is a broad topic for tonight.
It kind of is though. So I want to get y'all's takes on some conspiracy theories.
Oh boy.
I'm down with that.
He likes those.
Yeah,
we're gonna make some folks mad tonight.
Dude, I know. But I want to say before we get into it, I'm not a big fan of the term conspiracy theory because it's become synonymous with like tinfoil hats and crazy ideas. And I think it's really just more a conspiracy theorist. While they can be crazy, sure. I think it's more along the lines of just thinking, right?
Yeah.
Entertaining ideas that are different than maybe what is mainstream. So.
Well, for a long time, I used to say that there's a little truth to every conspiracy theory, but yeah, I think there's a certain connotation now with conspiracy theories is people think like it's just this outlandish, never could happen type thing. But I think practically, yeah, people put a lot of thought into these because there's quote unquote evidence to these things. So I think people dismiss conspiracy theories too quick.
I do too. And I think there's some that have merit, and the fact that maybe the loudest voices arguing for them are also the craziest, or the ones that take it the furthest. It kind of takes away from the legitimacy of some of the ideas related to them. So I guess the first big one to talk about is the moon landing, right?
Horseshit, all of it. It was all fake.
All right, well, moving on. Let's talk. So
get it out.
What do you think? What do you think about the moon landing? We'll start baseline there, and we'll go from there.
I haven't dug deep into it. I think it happened.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of I don't remember what's the rings or the atomic it's not the atomic rings between the moon and the Earth, but there's that certain
The Kepler?
yeah, something like that. There were
yeah.
where there's people who say there's no way you can pass through that, but then there's people on the other side who's like, well, the radiation level is like 0.00 something, so who knows?
Right. Yeah, there's people that will argue on both ends of it. I have heard more people who probably know what they're talking about
Mhm.
argue in favor of
That it
being able
happened?
to travel through that. Yeah. So um
I didn't even know that was a part of it. I thought
They
the
just
whole, like,
denied
thing-
it.
No, I just didn't. No, that's not something like that I have heard with that conspiracy theory, whatever. All I've heard is that it was just, filmed in a studio, and then you could see like the flag wave in the background or some shit like that. And it was like that simple. Like, it was filmed in a studio. Moving on. The moon landing was fake. Nobody landed on it.
right. And I think that's where
that's
the
crazy.
people
Okay.
generally, when you have someone immediately dismiss the idea that it could have been fake, I think that's the general idea, is that they've heard very few of the bullet points even.
Yeah.
And they're just like, that's crazy. The moon landing, the idea that the moon landing is fake, I think is one of the more reasonable conspiracy theories out there. I'm inclined to believe it's real. I think it's probably real.
Yeah.
But I understand for sure why people would choose not to. There's a lot of, whether the evidence is tampered with, whether it's real or not, it's out there. And there's some really good points. Some of the photos you can see where it's like they forgot to like edit out some of the things over the top of the photo that like show the camera the pictures were taken with. And there's some interesting things that if you don't know a lot about space, you don't understand why the sky looked the way it did. Like, there's a lot of stuff to it. And I feel like that's one people throw out really quickly. But I get it. I'm inclined to believe it's real.
So speaking as a person that doesn't know very much in depth about the points of it being fake and whatnot, like, why, like, what would be the main reason to fake that? And
Cold War.
like, why would they want to fake? Yeah. Okay. So
status to be the first ones to have done it, to kind of
that's what
cement our spot,
had
display
assumed at
power,
first. Gotcha.
and technological advances and stuff.
I heard that, by the way, you little bitch.
I was wondering.
What did you say?
He said, as someone who doesn't know much about, and I said, anything?
I missed that. I only heard you say Cold War.
Yeah, just a status so we can beat the Russians type thing. Which is, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. That
no means no.
No means no. You got to snap, bro. Hit the snap on them.
Spit on it.
Ooh.
Call it a whore.
But the
Jesus,
the flag waving thing, I've heard, some stuff about that when he planted it, the vibrations lasted so long in the pole that it took its way to work up into the flag and cause the flag to move. I mean, I don't know how true that is, but
well, I also heard recently too that the reason the flag looked like that is because they also put a rod in the top of it so that it would and that the rod got bumped, or
so that it wouldn't just hang. Yeah, that's
right. Which made sense. Again, I don't know how to verify that. I don't know how to get, and then you'll hear in defense of people that don't believe it, NASA will say stuff like, when asked about some of the original footage that would be more definitive, they apparently recorded over it. Like, we use VCRs. It's an old VHS tape. You recorded the game over. What are you talking about?
It's not like my 5-year-old flag football game that got accidentally recorded over by Mama's birthday.
Yeah, we went to the fucking moon. You wouldn't protect that footage a little bit better than
there was a whole episode of Matlock over it for some reason. I don't understand.
MacGruber. I do remember though, if you look at one of the photos, you can clearly see that the whole thing's fake. It's all made up.
or like the video footage of like when they're walking on the moon and he falls, and it looks a lot like he's suspended by cables.
Mm.
Whoa!
And he comes back up to his feet. It's like on one hand, yeah, it looks weird. On another hand, they're on the moon.
It's the fucking moon.
I don't know how shit works on the moon, dude. I don't know what that looks. I don't know what it looks like when you almost fall in less gravity than is on Earth. Like maybe it looks like you're being held up by ropes.
It looks like those like actual stupid videos where someone's falling for 6 minutes. Like, whoa, whoa,
Right.
whoa, 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 whoa.
When they're like laying on a like an ottoman that has a green screen over it. And they're like, whoa!
Yeah. So is the moon also flat?
And made of
That's-
cheese.
That's when we are going to get to the whole
Oh, sorry.
flat Earth
Well,
thing.
okay.
No, we're
Fix
good,
yourself.
but-
Stop messing it up.
Yeah, really. Like focus it.
Talking about me.
You look like an ass.
You
And
your
I don't,
fancy
you know,
camera.
I don't
One to know one.
I don't throw curse words around loosely, but look at yourself. Okay?
I don't throw curse words around loosely, but get your fucking shit together, you piece of shit.
I love you. All right.
Love you.
Just so
One
you
of
guys
the things
know.
that kind of sealed it for me.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
It doesn't matter, but just so you guys know, I'm wearing like really, really short shorts right now. I'm wearing a long sleeve
short?
shirt and shorts that are hugging my. Well,
Stand
it's
up.
not.
Stand up.
Rick.
Back up a little bit.
I can't. This is as far as I can go. Like
Those are pretty short.
Flex them quads, boy.
I told you guys, I'm wearing the dad shorts, bro.
Hell yeah, man. Oh God.
I saw a nut pop out.
I said, stand up, do it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to learn. You're gonna have to learn how to blur when you're editing this one.
Set in some gum.
Not safe for
I don't know
TV.
One of the things that sealed it for me was listening to Neil deGrasse Tyson talk about it, and he said it would have been more expensive and more effort to fake it than to just
Really?
do it.
That's
Yeah.
okay. That's
That
funny.
seems-
wow.
Unlikely, but okay.
I thought so too, but the way when he broke it down, he's been on Joe Rogan's podcast a couple times, and
Yeah.
Joe Rogan used to be an avid moon landing was fake guy.
Mhm.
And after talking to a few people, I think Neil deGrasse Tyson was probably the icing on the cake for him that kind of changed his mind. But he was
Yeah.
saying like it would have been more effort to fake it, because you think of everything that had to go into like the launch and sending it to the
Oh,
moon,
yeah,
and then the
yeah.
return and all of that, like orchestrating all of that and making all that happen, keeping it all a secret.
And then
All of
filming
these
on top of
things.
that. Yeah, that makes sense now.
Right. Yeah. So sounds like the way he describes it, it's way more trouble than to just figure out how to go to the moon for real.
Mhm.
So, and then you've got Buzz Aldrin, who is. Have you ever seen any interviews of him?
No.
That's the idea.
No,
but he's
I'm
also
just kidding.
really defensive
Oh.
about people saying they didn't go, and he's been really adamant that they saw some things that they've kind of been told not to talk about.
Oh.
But he's described like they were being watched while they were on the moon. They were not the only ones on the moon. Like he's told
I
some
read
stories
that.
like
yeah,
that.
I read that recently.
Bro, that gave me
He
chills.
punched a dude. Yeah, he punched a dude one time because
That's what I was gonna ask you.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure I've seen a video clip of him punching somebody in the face for asking him, questions about.
They
them on
like
the
kind
moon
of
and stuff.
insinuated with a question that it was fake or a lie, and he just hit him.
Yeah. He just hit him.
I wish I could live my life like that, you know?
Buzz Aldrin. He's one of the.
What are you insinuating? Yeah.
Were you the last one to use a copy machine?
So that like really gave me like this eerie vibe. Imagine being on a planet that you know for a fact you and the other guy are the only ones on, and then having a feeling you're being watched.
Yeah. Well, he said it was more than a feeling. He's like we saw other things there, and they were
He
watching
asked
us while we
Neil,
were doing
"Hey,
what we
what's
did."
that thing over there?"
Bro,
Yeah,
that's the
and
like
their
alien
demeanor,
stuff, dude. Ooh.
Yeah, if you've ever seen the interview, like the press conference they do when they got back, their demeanor is very strange, and a lot of
Really?
people interpret it as it being because they're lying and they're nervous about not being able to keep up the lie. But it also kind of seems like they've been told not to disclose a lot of what happened, so they're trying to be sure they don't do that. Yeah, so it goes both ways, and to think about it on the other end, it's super weird, man.
Spoopy.
Yeah, it's
like
spoopy.
imagine how unsettling it would be to be on the moon.
Yeah, just that alone. Yeah.
Just that alone. It's weird to walk through your house at night. To be on the moon and then to confirm there's something else there that's not supposed to be there watching y'all do what you do.
Turn around and something's like
yeah. That's wild. That is such an intense feeling.
Like Cloverfield.
It is. I'll say that is the one thing. If I had a wish or like I could do any one thing before I died, it would be going to space. Or like
summoning a space demon with a Ouija board.
I gotta order that Ouija board, by the way.
Yeah, I guess if that's a good one, because I wonder, it would be between something like that, or like I guess maybe like or like infinite knowledge is off the table, or like I guess maybe you would. That's one of those backwards wishes though. Like I wish I could go to Saturn, and then you're on Saturn and you just explode because there's no oxygen.
God, like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Total Recall.
Yeah, it's not the tumor.
I always said if I got diagnosed with something and there was like no shot that I was going to live through it, I would want to like go into the Bermuda Triangle and just hang out till some shit went down, so I could see what was there. Like
just hang out.
It's too weird. It's too weird to think there's nothing there. So I would just go.
I haven't looked. That's weird. Yeah, that's funny because I've read a lot of like weird stuff and I've never looked into that. I don't know why that's never came across my list. I don't know why.
Dude, the Bermuda Triangle is so. And then there's another one that's apparently worse called the Dragon's Triangle. But
why are they all triangles?
Yeah, that's oddly derivative.
Because it's the way the coordinates are mapped out based on the things that happen.
Is the Bermuda Triangle where those? Is it what was it? Laotian? Like
that's where piranhas live. I didn't know those were fake.
Where the planes disappeared? I can't remember. I can't remember from what country.
The Malaysia flight.
That's
blah,
what
blah,
it is.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that.
I don't
where
remember
the plane just disappeared and they
couldn't find the black box or nothing. Yeah.
The amount of documented cases of stuff like that happening in those coordinates. I think a lot of sometimes the scientific explanation is like it's a weird magnetic field on the planet, and it's because everybody reports the same stuff. Their communications fail, their navigation devices start acting crazy. But what's weird is that like on ships that aren't relying on those things, they also have that type of stuff go down. There's old, like before electricity and all that crap, there's records of people who sailed through and made it out that came out with some real weird stories about it. It's pretty fast. So yeah, if I got told like you're gonna be dead in a month or two or whatever,
send me to the triangle.
Right,
just
put
go
me on a
chill
boat
in the triangle.
Push me out there. I'll just chill out. I'll chill out till I die.
Speaking of Neil deGrasse Tyson, I don't like his name at all, but I'm not a big fan of him. But I did hear something really cool he said the other day. He was talking about like if you could actually dig a hole through the earth and like jump through it, what would happen?
I saw that.
And of course, he made the joke like, well, if you didn't melt in the center, but that you would just fall and then go, and then you would fall back the other way. Gravity would just keep you in this ever-flowing momentum of back and forth.
It's like you grab onto something on the other end, or else you're just going to be going back.
Perpetual, yeah. I thought that was pretty cool.
It's crazy.
I discovered him. There was a show called, I think it's called The Unexplainable Universe.
Mm-hmm.
And it was on Netflix for a while.
Yeah.
And it's a show, it's like a science show where they're talking about stuff. But I remember watching it and getting the impression, like halfway through the second episode, that he wasn't reading cue cards, that he wasn't being prompted at all. Like there was just the topic for the episode, and he would just talk about it for like an hour and a half.
He didn't study or anything.
Knows, he just knows everything. And I was like, man, this dude is wild.
Is it still on there?
I don't know if it's still on there.
don't
You
know.
might be able to find it on YouTube.
I think
but
that's
I
where
think now on Netflix you can get Cosmos, which it used to be an old.
Yeah.
What's the guy's name?
Leonard Nimoy.
No.
I'll kill you, Leonard Nimoy.
I gotta Google it.
What movie?
I can't believe I can't remember his name. That's
The clown has
unforgivable.
no penis. I think that's where I first saw him. Was on that show on Netflix.
What is his name?
Name. I got nothing on a name. Show is
Oh
that?
my God, Carl Sagan. God, I can't believe I forgot that. It was an old Carl Sagan show, and they kind of rebooted it with Neil deGrasse Tyson, and it's probably the most fascinating thing I've ever watched. It is so cool. I don't know if it's still on Netflix, but I highly recommend that you go watch it if you have not.
Did he do a special on theory of relativity?
I'm sure he did.
Somebody I watched their like class or special whatever on theory of relativity, and it was the most simplistic explanation that a lot of people would probably.
That's why I like Neil deGrasse Tyson, is because he explains it in a way to where even I can understand.
Even a 3-year-old
He
can
makes
understand.
it mainstream. Like
Yeah.
he's good about that. Interesting story about him too. I was in the Army with a guy, and Neil deGrasse Tyson is his wife's uncle. So he knew I was a fan, and when he got back home after a while, he sent me a picture. It was just a family cookout, and he was in the backyard with his arm around Neil deGrasse Tyson, just taking a selfie. Like, man, that's
dope.
wild, man.
How many times did you? Well, never mind. We'll leave it alone.
So far, like 81.
Imagine Neil deGrasse Tyson at a family cookout, like a t-shirt tucked into his stonewashed jeans.
His Costco jeans.
There's some Air Monarchs. he's just munching on a burger.
I love that dude, man. He I actually went to school. Like, I've never
With
really
Neil
been that
deGrasse
interested
Tyson.
in going to college. Yes. I actually started I went to school because I was like, I'm gonna be an astrophysicist.
Oh yeah.
And then I just lost interest because I hate going to school. But
Same. Yeah.
yeah. dude,
Astrophysics is
G,
cool.
man. Yeah, it's pretty fun. Pretty fun.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't know, but yeah.
I know better than you, man.
Sorry,
All right,
sorry.
so I think no, don't drink with us.
Outcast.
We don't want it.
No, you're out.
I can and I will.
We don't want your fake drink along.
Been,
Drink alone.
no.
All right, what's another good conspiracy? The Lizardmen, the lizard race.
What?
Are you not familiar with that at all?
Like under New York City, or is that alligators?
That's alligators.
Yeah, you haven't heard. You're not familiar with the lizard.
The
people?
Lizardmen.
Oh, man, this is a good one. So
That there's a
this is one
secret
that
race of lizard dudes living among us.
It's a good basis on like current, like people probably like the Q people probably think like, you know, the Democrats and all of them are lizard people. Like it's a general.
It's a spin on the Illuminati thing,
Yeah.
which we'll get to. But the Lizardmen is it's like a secret race of lizard people disguised as humans run the world. I can't believe you've never seen the videos of like Justin Bieber's. He accidentally
the eyes. Yeah.
Let me back up real quick because it sounds like I called him Justin Bieber's. And what I was gonna say
Justin
was
Bieber's.
Justin Bieber.
Who's
What I was gonna
Justice
say
Bieber?
was Justin Bieber's eye, and then I bailed on that sentence halfway through. Like an 80-year-old Justin Bieber's. But the clips of like his eye blinking, it looks like his eye blinks sideways, or like
Horizontally,
Miley Cyrus. Yeah,
like
a
some Men in
lizard's
Black
eye.
stuff.
Like in Men in Black, yeah.
Exactly.
No.
There's tons of videos of it, and people are all about it. And this is one that I'm guilty of writing off immediately. I don't even entertain it.
Yeah, that's the stupidest thing.
It's pretty.
Not to offend anyone, but that's the
I know.
stupid.
I hate to do that because I feel like who am I to draw the objective line?
Yeah.
But for me,
It's right here.
The Lizardmen. It's right there.
Yeah.
Right before we get to the Lizardmen. But there's people that believe it hardcore, and
That's
the idea
weird.
is just that they're just among us, and they run the world.
I mean, there's
And I'm not
definitely
even sure to what end.
there's definitely people who I would consider scaly, but like Lizardmen though.
I mean,
That's
like I've got some
crazy.
pretty bad skin issues.
Yeah,
but
like my blood runs cold sometimes. Okay. The world is run by Lizardmen. Like they're
That's a
evil.
wild
I'm assuming
one.
they're evil.
I guess
Well,
I haven't.
You
the
can't
way
be.
you would make it
You can't
sound
be
is
like
that
a.
you're just that they're among us and that they just exist.
Name
without
one
any
good lizard person
ulterior
you know.
motive or
It's a
anything.
conspiracy theory that they're just casually here.
These Earth
There's no
motherfuckers
us
just
and
think we're
them.
too scary.
Just-
I
yeah.
just don't.
Just for no reason, they're like, Bill, you got to cover that up, dude. No one can know about this.
But wait, why? I don't know.
Look at you. Oh man, that's so.
They
it's
don't
not,
even like gay people.
it's-
You think they're gonna like us covered in
Yeah.
scales?
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
man.
I'm not sure. Now, Illuminati. How much
love that
digging have you
band.
guys done with this one?
Not much.
Not
What
much.
band?
It's making a dumb joke.
What's the joke?
You said Illuminati, and I said I love that band.
Right.
Like the band's name is Illuminati. That's
Okay. I thought it was a play on an existing band.
No. It was just a
okay.
really, really dumb joke.
It was. You can edit it out if you want.
No, I'll leave it.
Just put the technical difficulties.
So,
Play it off.
I mean, I'm familiar with like the Freemason type stuff and like how they're
Yeah.
as part of the Illuminati. I haven't, same as like the moon landing. I don't believe it enough that I have dug into it.
Quick. You mentioned Freemasons. So Jess, her grandfather was a Freemason, and there's degrees to it, right?
Yeah.
Like that's how they
Like a second degree
so
black
he-
belt, third degree. Yeah.
Right. He was, I think, 32, and I think there's 33 like levels to it.
Dang.
And so he was 32, and he went in to be like accepted. I don't know how the term promoted, accepted, whatever, into like a 33.
Mhm.
I can't remember the term. It might be degree. And he came back from it, having left the Freemasons.
Hmm.
And
I've
we're
heard of that.
talking a large portion of his life
Yeah.
dedicated to this. And then whatever he found out between 32 and 33 was a deal breaker. And he came home and he would never talk about it. He wouldn't talk about it at all. Not just specifically what it is he found out that he didn't like or wasn't okay with, but he wouldn't even talk about it anymore. He was like, done. That's really weird to me because it's
Yeah.
not the only time I've heard a story like
Yeah, I've heard stories like that. Is it just me or are
Like-
you fuzzy, Vengeance?
Am
that.
I?
He's pretty fuzzy.
Like not as a human, like your
so.
camera. There you go. I think that looks
Yeah.
better.
Freaking.
I've heard,
God
yeah,
dang it.
I've heard stories of people leaving the Masons after they like level up. They get the mushroom and then they level up and then they're out.
Yeah, they get access to some certain information and then they're like, nope.
So you just said, Jess, her grandfather. Are you supposed to say whether somebody is a Freemason or not? Is that like a thing?
Oh, you messed up now. They're gonna get you.
No. I'm genuinely curious.
Well,
I
if
People,
they-
yeah,
if
people
they
wear
say it-
badges on their car and stuff.
well,
Yeah,
I
they
know
wear
a-
rings. and shit.
I know a couple.
If I know someone's a Freemason, they already screwed up. If it's supposed to be a secret.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
You done up now.
Hmm. Well,
We gonna find you.
Someone very close to me is also a Freemason, but I don't know a lot about it.
Who?
Bum,
What's their
bum,
address?
bum.
My dad.
Run, Paul. Well, I think
What? How far in?
See, when you said that, I don't know. Like, I don't know what level he is. I never asked about that.
and
I'd
his
be
dad.
interested to know.
His dad's a conspiracy theorist.
That's interesting. If he's like high level.
Yeah. I don't know how high level he is. He watches the podcast, or he listens to the podcast.
All right.
So
What's up,
Leave us a
Dad?
comment.
yeah.
If you're a Freemason, leave a comment below.
Tell us your experiences.
Yeah.
I was in basic training with a Freemason, but he
Oh,
was
yeah?
very new to it. But this what's weird is like the dollar bill folding stuff.
Oh,
You've seen where they like fold dollar bills and
Oh, to make the Twin Tower. Yeah,
it's
yeah.
the
Yeah,
Twin
Twin
Towers
Towers
on
and-
fire.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I've always thought that was kind of goofy. I mean, on one hand, I guess
Coincidental.
it is weird.
Yeah.
But
And then you could
I don't know.
fold it. You could fold it
It's
in
a
a way
little
to
on the
where it's
nose.
spelled out Osama or
Yeah.
something like that.
right, yeah. It's
If
a
you
little on
rip
the
this
nose.
letter off, scratch that one out.
If you take a Sharpie and write Satan on it, it says Satan.
Yeah.
Just cut each individual letter out and do it like a ransom note.
Like
It's
fold-
you could
You get it? You're
From a
like
magazine, you just glue it
Yeah.
on the dollar.
folding the dollar up and you're snipping it like this. And it's a snowflake.
Which means the devil's coming.
So without like jumping ahead, stop getting fuzzy.
I can't.
I'm
help it,
gonna
dude. I don't
lose
know-
it.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, without getting too far ahead, I
We
am
get in a flow, and he's like,
I am fully convinced that like governmental powers that be are not the ones we see. And I think whether it's the Illuminati or Freemasons or George Soros or, you know, there's a lot of play that we don't see.
Rockefeller and
yeah.
Rothschild.
Rothschild, yeah. So who's to
Well,
say
there goes this episode.
that? Who's to say?
YouTube,
that-
Yeah, there probably won't be a next one. Sorry, guys.
Because
No,
we're
please
all
stop.
dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went down. So when I was younger, I got real into the whole Illuminati thing. I mean, I got deep down that rabbit hole.
Shout out.
Deep 64. And
Oh boy.
there is some really wild stuff. And
Yeah.
I'm sure. So part of the problem with going down a rabbit hole like that is that you get to a certain point where you
It's
accept
stuck.
it, and then you want to believe everything you hear.
Yeah.
Like everything you hear now correlates to this thing you believe, right? Confirmation bias. So as I've gotten older, I've gotten better at that. That's one of the things I work on doing. But I was in, dude, and I think I was still pretty reasonable. There were certain parts of it I would hear, like, I don't know if you've seen all the things about how mainstream marketing has all these like Illuminati devil worship, like the Taco Bell logo, for example. Have you ever?
That video going around of the lady talking about the Monster Energy. That's the
Monster
one I always
Energy.
think of.
Oh,
Yeah, Monster
I
Energy.
remember that.
If you look at the Taco Bell logo, it looks like a demonic eye. Basically, every mainstream thing, McDonald's, anything that you know the name of, they have found some demonic thing. But you can do that with anything, right?
Yeah.
So I was never really super into that. Sometimes they'd point out one that was interesting, and I'd be like, But the notion that there are the powers that be behind the scenes, this new world order, so to speak, that does not seem that far-fetched to me.
It doesn't.
It
I'm
just-
usually pretty dismissive of most things, but that is not that
yeah.
that
Even
far-fetched.
still, as I've gotten, I'm a lot more grounded and reasonable even than I was then, and that still does not seem even far-fetched to me.
Yeah.
I don't find that hard to believe at all. It's part of why I'm not real interested in voting, because I don't really think we have any. Trump winning changed that a little bit, because I was like, there's no way. Like Hillary Clinton's in the group.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
Of course she's gonna win.
She owns everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
So when he won, I was like, okay, I have to reevaluate some of what I think here, because I can't come up with a reason he would have won that makes sense for what it is I think right now.
And I think that type of questioning has ultimately led to the whole QAnon movement, the QAnon group.
Yeah.
Foundation
Yeah.
for kids.
Are you
No.
familiar with QAnon for kids? Have you heard of the Bohemian Grove?
I really thought you were gonna say
That's
Rhapsody.
some weird,
I was like,
that's some weird, like Carcosa King in Yellow
Dude,
type
have
shit.
you both for real
should
not
I
heard of
Google it?
Yes. Oh my god, dude.
I don't know what that is.
I'm gonna drop a name here, and you're gonna have a knee-jerk reaction to it, but you have to just continue to stay with me. Alex Jones snuck in to this thing called the Bohemian Grove, and it's this retreat where high-level politicians and people go, and the activities that they engage in this place. It's a closed-off retreat. Public can't get in. Paparazzi can't get in. You're not allowed in if you're not on the list, basically. And it is the strangest, like seemingly most outdated behavior. It's very ritualistic. It's very eerie. There's a lot
just
of
the
it that
name
feels,
alone.
It feels very demonic, and as someone who doesn't even believe in God and demons and things like that, there's a very demonic energy to it, as though there's like clear Satan worship vibes coming out of it. It was kind of like, I think it was kind of like Alex Jones's like ticket up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And let me be clear. Alex Jones says a lot of goofy shit. I'm not telling you I'm some huge Alex Jones fan or anything, but this was, I think, before he kind of adopted that persona, and all he did was get in there and record. It didn't like he's telling you anything. He just recorded what was going on. It is weird. You should after this podcast or sometime soon, you should go watch that. But it'll end with you feeling eerie. You'll feel like you just watched a scary movie when you walk away from it. But it's worth the watch, man. It's super interesting. So I had got myself all gassed up to go do it.
Dude, this is scary.
Yeah, and it's real.
Say thou mocking spirit, chanting things like "Say thou mocking spirit, it is not all a dream. We know thou waiteth for us." What the?
It's like they all get together and they watch this. There's a scene, but they're all watching a play, and it is the weirdest thing.
You said there was you said there was a specific thing that we could watch.
If you just Google
like a specific thing,
if you YouTube Bohemian Grove, I'm sure the footage, his footage will come up. And
it's Alex Jones's footage.
Yes,
of going in there. Oh man, okay.
And like there are very high level politicians. I think presidential.
I saw Nixon.
Maybe even. I can't tell if you're joking.
I saw Nixon. For real. It's not a joke. There's a photo of him right here.
I think I don't remember any names, but I remember hearing some names and seeing some people in the video and them getting identified, and like I know who that is, and I don't even really keep up with politics that much. So some very prominent figures in the political space were at this thing. It's wild, dude.
Yeah.
It is so wild. So yeah, I was gassed up for a while. I was gonna get with my brother because he's very similar to me in that, like, we want to investigate, we want to get in, we want to find out all this stuff. We're both really nosy about what's going on in the world. So yeah, I was all fired up, man. We were gonna work that out, and then I finally just let it go. Like I am very nosy. I would take immortality. A lot of people say they wouldn't. I would take immortality just to see what happens.
Yeah.
I just want to be here till the end. I don't want to miss anything.
Well, as far as like political, like behind the scenes government type stuff, Ventus, do you remember me telling you a few months ago? I don't remember the name of it. About that. So there's this
convention.
I don't remember the name of the convention, but it happened. I think it was last October or August.
It's like Event 64 or something like that.
Yes, event 222. Event 201. I think is what it was. Let me see. Was it Event 201? Yes. Okay, so Event 201 was a pandemic exercise. The how they pick who does these, I don't know. But you have people like Bill Gates, you have politicians, you have all these big name people at this event for like pandemic awareness or preparation. And then in I think like October of last year or August sometime last year, they had
It was October of 2019.
Yeah, they had a scenario for coronavirus. Right before the outbreak, a few months before, there was a pandemic scenario preparation type thing.
Like he pulled up the website and everything.
Coincidence.
Yeah, how is that? Like, how is that so coincidental? But what scares me is, what are people like Bill Gates doing there? What does he have anything to do?
There are a lot of theories that involve Bill Gates.
Like,
being
why
part
is he?
of, like, this
Why
New
is he?
World
Yeah,
Order
why
thing.
is he injecting kids with vaccines? Why is he the one doing that? That's just so weird.
Yeah. So one of the ideas of the New World Order is depopulation. They think there's way too many people on the planet, and that's one of. There's a speech that I think George Bush gave from the White House that talks about it. Maybe you'll have to look that up and see if I'm right on that. But I feel like there's a video where he specifically says New World Order, and he makes a couple of other points that a lot of people will allude to when they're talking about like this New World Order / Illuminati thing. But the general consensus of that is depopulation. There's way too many people on the planet to sustain it. And I'm pretty sure that Bill Gates is one of the people that's talked about that specifically, like that we have an overpopulation problem. So that's wild that I haven't heard of that. That's weird. I haven't heard of that. I haven't snooped around in a while, but I'm gonna now. I know what rabbit hole I'm going down this weekend.
The one that I don't know if I don't know what to think about it. It's closer to the lizard people thing. Have you heard anything about I hate that I'm even like entertaining it. Adrenochrome? Have you heard anything about that?
It sounds familiar.
So adrenochrome apparently is this concoction of something that apparently, the whole cabal theory that like big name high up people, politicians, celebrities, blah 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 are in the whole like child sex trafficking ring, this giant kind of and this is purely me going off of what I've heard, so I don't know if I'm butchering it or even but so adrenochrome is this substance that is made from adrenaline that is harvested from children to the like and you can only harvest it to the point of like where they're scared and they're afraid, and they harvest it from the children and then they drink it, and that's how they stay young. Have you heard this at all?
I haven't heard of that one.
So
good old adrenaline
the theory is that the theory is that all of these celebrities during the pandemic or whatever that are looking like kind of rough and older and kind of rougher than they look like at like a red carpet event or things like that is because they're cut off from the pandemic. And so Tom Hanks is one of the people that is named in it.
I've been hearing some weird stuff about Tom Hanks.
Ellen DeGeneres is another one that's being
she's been on adrenochrome for the longest.
Well, it's weird. It's the timing of her downfall has been strange.
And that's what the people that are ride hard for this theory believe, is that her downfall, like something about going past where Jimmy Kimmel does his show. Jimmy Kimmel is a part of it too, apparently, where the sign for his show has been taken down. Like apparently Jimmy Kimmel isn't a thing. I don't know, but it's So the coronavirus pandemic is kind of cutting them off from that, the source of adrenochrome, so where they can't get a hold of it as easy
Well,
as they used to.
there's always been that like weird Hollywood is full of pedophile type things,
Which is absolutely true.
Yeah, people.
I was gonna say, like, again, back to Alex Jones for a sec. He's been saying that forever.
Yeah.
And everybody thinks it's just the crazy shit he's been saying to get headlines. He's been right a weird amount of times on the people he's accused of being part of that.
People blow it off, but then if you think about like how many people there actually are in Hollywood, a tiny percentage of the population exist with celebrity status.
Yep.
So what does it take to be a celebrity? Maybe you got to be kind of a freaking weirdo to get into the group, and that's all that makes it.
And former celebrities that don't buy into that kind of thing are completely blacklisted.
Yeah.
That's a thing too. That's part of the whole like Illuminati thing. Is they cut to a lot of celebrity interviews, and it's like the amount of celebrities that say things like, "I had to make a deal with the devil. I had to sell my soul to the devil," something along those lines, and those types of comments. The amount of it you hear, which it's also kind of a common phrase, and people might just be saying it, but it's set a strangely high amount. And some of the ways they say it, like there was a clip of Katy Perry, if I'm not mistaken, where she seems like she's so blatantly trying to tell people,
wow.
You know, it's a very weird energy coming at her, but she's also kind of strange.
Yeah, she's a little strange.
Maybe that's just what it is. But yeah, there's they think that's why Michael Jackson is dead. They think that's why Prince is dead, because around the time that these people start opening their mouth, Prince went on some late night show and said a lot. He said a lot about
formerly
Hollywood,
known as.
Right. formerly known as. And he died not long after. And kind of the same thing with Michael Jackson. He kind of started opening his mouth about some things that were going on, and it's weird, man.
More recently, Corey Feldman is trying to get like some kind of documentary made, where he's calling out. He's called out one of his abusers, but he's trying to make this documentary about the pedophilia in Hollywood and how him and Corey Haim were abused, and people are like people.
Mel Gibson's been touting it for a while, right?
Brendan Fraser is another one, because he was abused apparently, and they completely blackballed him.
Blacklisted, I think.
Same thing. So, and also that people have been talking about Chris Cornell and Chester Bennington.
I've heard about that.
Trying to get some kind of campaign going about child sex trafficking, and they were working on the same thing, and that their suicides weren't actually suicides, and that's a theory. And their family denies it and denies it and denies it, but it kind of makes you wonder,
did Epstein really kill himself?
No. Absolutely not.
I think that
he killed himself by getting caught.
I think that's something that everyone can agree on happened.
And yet here we are. Nothing happened.
Is that we all? That's what I was gonna say. What's wild is we all know.
Yeah.
We all know he didn't kill himself.
Yeah. Doesn't matter.
Where's that going? Like what happens now? We just all know it, and that's that.
Yep.
That's insane to me. That's insane.
We gotta rise up, people.
Yeah. Last episode of the podcast. Meet us in Times Square.
Yeah.
Golly.
How about MK Ultra? Y'all familiar with that one at all?
What are you dropping on us? What is this stuff?
That sounds like an EDM artist.
Lizard people, Mortal Kombat Ultra. That sounds dope. I'm ready for it.
MK Ultra is one that there will be a knee jerk of like, that's crazy, that's ridiculous.
That's what you said about Lizardmen.
Well, that one that one.
Yeah.
I'm even with you there. MK Ultra, I agree, is very far fetched. I don't believe it, but there's some compelling evidence for it, and it's the idea that there's this like remote mind control over these celebrities. I think there's also an aspect of it that involves celebrities being cloned and replaced.
Oh God.
Which there's also, again, sounds crazy. There are some really strange examples that they go to of that, but there's also this idea of like remote mind control, and there's clips, a surprising amount of clips of celebrities. And the idea is that there's some sort of like disconnection for a little while, or interference. I know there's one of there's a few that are like that could just be whatever. Maybe she's tripping on Molly or something. But there's a clip of Beyonce and Jay-Z at a ball game, and there's a camera, like the camera's on her for a long time, and she is like not in like the way that a person normally would zone out and be zoned out. She's like shut off. It's a real weird clip. There's another one of what's his name? He's on I hate that I'm having trouble pulling all these names. I can't remember. He's on like the New Year's Eve stuff, and he's
Anderson
Roker?
Cooper,
Al Roker.
Dick Clark?
Black guy,
Dick Clark,
the black
Al Roker.
It's Al Roker. Al Roker. And I think it's a New Year's Eve something. It's some live event, and he's talking and he's like at this angle with the camera, and he goes, nothing happens to trigger it, and he's just like no. And stays like that for like 15 seconds. And then he goes, and then he's back. There was no joke, there was no context, nothing triggered it. It's like for like the most obvious case of just he's like,
oh gosh,
and the camera's on him, and people around him are like looking around, like trying to play it off. And there are so many clips of celebrities like where like there's a switch being flipped, and they just get weird for a little bit. Some of them are obvious jokes. There's one of Eminem that everybody likes to reference. He's clearly just being goofy. Like, there's times where you can tell it's they're clearly joking, or there's some context for it. There's other times where it's like, what the hell just happened? Like, that's a human being. That doesn't happen to people.
I can't tell you how many times I. Y'all have background noise behind me?
I can hear the baby every now and then, but it's not a big deal.
Okay.
It's not a super big deal. You hit her.
Oh, God.
I feel like I just want to have this queued up. I want to send you guys
Al Roker. Just like, he was already a weird dude. I never liked him.
Yeah.
Heard that.
Here, let me I can't play it on the stream or we'll get claimed, but I'm gonna send it to you guys in a group chat.
Okay.
Claimed.
I don't know if that's the right video, but it references it, so hopefully it'll show it. But there's a bunch of that stuff, man. And then the cloning. I don't remember the rapper, but there was some rapper that went to jail for a while. And when he came out,
all of them, right?
No, the good ones.
Yeah.
When he came out of jail, he was so different.
Straight to jail.
That everybody was concerned. There was this big idea. Is it Gucci? I can't remember.
I think he's been in jail.
The
Isn't he
idea
the one
was
with
that-
like the ice cream cone ice cream cone right here?
Yeah.
What's that? Who's that?
It might be him.
That
But
dude got
the idea was
yoked in
that-
prison.
Yeah, the idea is that he got replaced by a clone, and there's all this stuff about. I think one of his tattoos when he came out of prison is on the wrong side.
What the
that might be Gucci then. Yeah, I think
the structure of his, like they look at like the structure of the bone structure of his face is different. Like
The man got messed up in prison.
Yeah, it was interesting at the very least. But
I'm gonna hit you so hard that tattoo gonna swallow.
Another popular topic for that is Avril Lavigne. Everybody thinks that Avril Lavigne, the Avril Lavigne we knew originally, is dead, and that the one we have now is a replacement, Avril Lavigne. And there's like, again, it's all sounds very crazy, and the baseline is, of course, I don't believe it.
Yeah.
But there's some interesting cases being made for some of this stuff.
Mm.
It's at least worth entertaining. It's entertaining, and it's worth, I don't know. Who's to say we know everything that's going on in the world?
Right,
You know?
right.
It very easily could be some wild shit going on we don't know about. Who would have
there
ever
is.
guessed Jeffrey Epstein had an island
And then he would kill
that people
himself.
were going to screw minors? Like,
Yeah. Crazy.
who would ever, if you said that beforehand, everybody would be like, "Oh, you're crazy." Like that. Sure, he would have been caught by now if he was doing that. You know what I mean? Yeah,
then,
screw minors.
Yeah. What were they mining? The last time I'm going to talk about the Q, folks, because
stop it, grossing me out.
Yeah, is that they hold Trump in such a high regard. When it comes to that kind of that's the whole basis around the Q, whatever. But talking about like the cabal and all the child sex trafficking, whatever. The dude was one of them. The dude hung out with Epstein.
Who?
Did Trump not hang out with Epstein?
Oh, yeah, he's been seen. I mean, the weird thing, I don't think everybody connected to Epstein was in on that.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
Well,
because he was a businessman. You know what I mean? Yeah. But there is also
there's pictures of him on the island.
Yeah,
we can talk about it.
But then there's also there's like flight records. His private jet, which was named like El Nina or something disgusting. Yeah, which Bill Clinton is like shown using multiple times.
He lived on that plane.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, people like Trump. I'm not saying that Trump is innocent, but I'm just saying like some of those people. It's hard because Epstein was a quote unquote businessman, so it's hard to associate with. Yeah.
And it goes back to the confirmation bias. If you hate Trump, then he's guilty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what
No,
I mean?
I was just
the general the climate of the scene these days is if it confirms that if you hate Trump and it's bad, it's true. If you don't hate Trump,
Winch man bad.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a whole other rabbit hole to go down.
Yeah.
All right, last one. We'll get off the Illuminati mind control stuff. We'll tackle this last one. Maybe last. Maybe we'll keep going. But flat Earth. We got to talk about flat Earth.
Mm-hmm.
I've been convinced. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
It's one that I would immediately write off every time I heard it because it's fucking goofy. Like, it's goofy. But I finally decided I would look into it and just see what the points being made are. Why do they think it's flat? What's to be gained by convincing us it's not? Like, what's the point? Usually these things have an end goal in mind.
Right.
What's to be gained by convincing me that the world is round when it's not? There really is not any good foundation for that argument. I tried to find it. It's not there.
Yeah.
I had entertained it. I tried to look into it. I looked into it as though I was trying to prove it. Right. I really wanted all the information because I just wanted to understand where it comes from. There's got to be an end goal. There's got to be a reason that the government or whatever entity wants to convince me the world is round. Right. It's not there.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. I don't get it. And the part that annoys me about it the most is that if look in the sky, every single thing we can see in the sky is round. And we're just hurtling through space like a plate.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Why? And like Antarctica is the ice wall, and there's a couple of flat Earth documentaries. I think there was one on Netflix for a while. I don't know if it's still there. They were doing tests to prove the Earth was flat. They proved themselves wrong in their own documentary and still let it go up.
Oh,
they still let it go live.
Wow.
That's crazy.
It's like, you just proved that the world's round. What are you talking about, man? So,
and if you look at this axis, shit.
Yeah, it's really stuff like that. They're like, so if the world is round, this would happen, and then it happens, and they're like, well, it happened because it's like, it happened because it's round.
Yeah.
If you can look past this fallacy, you can still tell that the Earth is completely.
Yeah, I just don't know what should be gained. I thought it was always a religious argument. I thought it was always they want you to believe it's round so that you believe we're just like everything else in space, so that you're more likely to believe God didn't create us and this whole universe just for us. But the more I got into it, the more I realized that's not always the argument. There are some people that just believe that they're trying to convince us the world is round when it's not. just cuz.
If you think the Earth is flat, let us know below.
Like what?
Have you guys done any looking? Have you heard anything about it? Have you looked into it at all?
Yeah,
I haven't. No, I haven't even entertained it.
No, I mean I've seen like the stupid videos where people are like pouring water on a plate and they're like, "How come the water's not leaving?" You know, like just like all that stupid stuff. But I believe.
Like, what do you win? What do you win?
Because they poured it.
Maybe
They poured it over a ball, and we're like, "Oh, the water's gone. How would the Earth hold water if it was around? You know, like it would just all drip off."
Right. Or they'll go to the beach and look out at the horizon and go, "I don't see no curve." Like, well, yeah, the world's real big. It's real big. It's way bigger than you could think it is. Way bigger.
Which is insane to me to try to grasp how big the world is. I know that's not like the topic, but dude, I can barely fathom how many people live in my city.
Yeah.
And
I can't even really understand how big Memphis is.
Yeah.
Right.
I can't really understand it.
And to think
You know what I
how
mean?
many people exist.
And are sucking the earth dry of her.
Yeah.
You know, just everything.
We got to get it down to 2 billion.
Which is also weird that there's no one, quote unquote, exactly like me. Like, you will never find another person whose face matches mine. Like, you might get close.
Well, there's
a lot of doppelganger.
I was gonna say there's some interesting stuff about that.
Like I'm a clone, maybe?
I think I saw some study where there's like at least a certain number of people, some small number, like 2 or 3
look eerily like you.
Really?
That look enough like you that it would trick people.
No. Really?
Yeah. So Jessica was out of town one time. This was several years ago, but she was at a mall somewhere out of town, and she said she saw a guy that she was so sure was me that like she was having trouble understanding why I was there. Like she and her mom went somewhere, and she said she was like approaching him, like she was approaching him to be like, what are you doing here? And she said she got close enough that she could see a minor enough difference.
Wow.
Just in the way that like the way he carried himself. But she's like same height, same face.
Was he a hunchback? What's the way he like
carried himself?
Yeah.
I was doing like this.
Oh, okay.
That's how I walk.
Yeah.
But she said she got close enough to be able to tell. Like she could just tell when she got close enough it wasn't me, and she didn't say anything. But
2 or 3
I think I've heard some study that there's like some small number of people that look basically identical to you.
Vengeance, the way you're sitting right now, it makes your right nostril look insanely large.
Whoa.
Oh yeah.
Oh, maybe it is just really large. Do you have
fuck you?
Oh man.
Oh man.
I got a big ass right nostril. I got a small dangle. My
slow-mo dangle.
Head looks weird. You got a testicle that's not fast enough.
Man, doppelgamers.
Doppelgamers.
That'll be our stream team. Whoa!
It is kind of huge though.
Doppelgamers?
It's the shadow.
Nope. Your nostrils are disproportionate.
It's not.
So what happened to your nose, bro?
Just like my bottom teeth are just barely a little bit crooked.
Mine are too.
Do you remember that Snapchat I sent you? Because I realized, like I was 27 years old when I realized that my bottom teeth don't line up perfectly with my top teeth. Because the Snapchat filter was zoomed in. I was like, what the hell is this?
Mine don't either. If I like force my teeth flush, one, I have
a
little bit of an overbite, but 2, if I make them flush, see my jaw?
Yeah, that's
like
how mine line up.
Yeah, I didn't realize I was so jacked up.
Yeah.
But doppelganger reminded me. So this is gonna have to be another episode, but a little teaser for next time. It's my week to come up with topics. We'll be back on like the ghost stories and paranormal stuff. But my brother has a ton of stories from when he and my cousins were younger.
He met his doppelganger?
Well, no, but one of my cousins. There's a whole thing. But that's a teaser. We'll get into that because we're gonna go down a whole nother hour-long rant on that one.
Okay. All right.
But that'll be fun. I'll have to talk to him and see if he's cool with me telling all those stories. But
That's all right. My Josh had to ask me if it was okay if he could tell the story about my brother having my brother Asperger's.
I messaged him. I was like, "Hey, do you think that's okay? Like, can I leave that in?"
He's so casually, just like a fake drowned in front of him.
Yeah.
A few times.
So my brother doubled over laughing. Motherfuck.
Yeah.
My brother doubled over laughing, and he told me to send Achro a picture of him doing this. And in quotes, it said "Aspie approved."
That's awesome.
And he got a kick out of it. He's a good sport.
Yeah.
Have y'all seen anything for Godfall? Have y'all watched that? Just asked right at the end here.
I think so.
Negative.
Okay. Well, never mind.
Is it a show?
No, it's like I think it's like a PS5 release or PS4 exclusive. PS5. Looks pretty cool. I don't know if y'all seen anything for it.
I don't think so.
Okay, well,
all right, thanks for watching.
Screw off, yeah.
I guess we can wrap it up.
Yeah, I don't have.
Yeah, my drink is gone.
I feel like there's a whole other episode to be done on these though.
It's a brewing.
I'll have to jump back down the rabbit hole a little bit. Maybe we'll do a conspiracy theories part 2 sometime soon.
Yeah, maybe I can contribute to any of them at all. At some point.
Next time.
Yeah, read a book.
Pleb. When we're next time we're gonna do this, we'll come up with some specific ones and I'll send them to you guys several days in advance. So you can research them a little bit. And we'll dig in.
I watched the Rocky movies like right before. I knew they were gonna ask me about Rocky.
But yeah, I reckon that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, same old. Catch me on that Twitch hunt all day, every day. Well, not really. Like 7 p.m. my time. Figure that out.
Well,
why is your tongue that color still?
God.
I was eating Sour Patch Kids earlier.
Get it tested, bro.
Tested?
Yeah, get your tongue fixed.
So I told y'all, but they finally shipped my PC, or not finally. It's actually pretty quick about how fast they shipped my PC. It's not here yet, but they did send me an email today saying that it was shipped out. So hopefully get back in time to stream some scary stuff.
Yeah, I feel like we're on pace now. The 3 of us are going to play Phasmophobia together.
Yeah.
Bro, y'all keep saying that, and I don't know what it is.
I don't know how you haven't looked it up yet. As many times as we've said it.
Yeah.
Because I don't care. I'm not going to play it.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It starts with a PH though, not an F.
Yep.
I spelled it. I guess I spelled it wrong. I thought it was Phasma.
Phasmophobia.
But he said Phasmo. I guess it's Phasmophobia.
It's Phasmo.
I feel like it would have come up either way.
Phasmophobia.
As popular as it is right now.
I haven't searched it.
The 3 of us will be playing it together.
Mm-hmm.
That will be happening.
On like what? Like streaming it or just like playing it or just like?
I may make a video out of it. I don't know if I'll stream it or not. We'll see how
I think we might need to, maybe do. I feel like we need to get a perspective from each person as we play it, because
that would be dope.
Different things so it's similar in the co-op experience of Dead Space 3 when somebody sees one thing, but the other person sees something completely different or hears something completely different. Yeah.
Don't like that.
I'll tell y'all a story about it later.
Are you gonna see a plastic surgeon about your nostrils?
Achro, is your nose whistling, or is that Vince's?
No, my little thing's not lighting up like I'm talking till now.
I swear I hear somebody's nose whistling.
That's because you're not breathing.
Y'all breathing all quiet now.
Stuffy McBubble guts over here.
My little green light's not popping up.
Stuffy McBubble guts. It covers so much.
All right.
the fakest laugh I've ever seen in my life. Cool.
Bye.
Yeah. See ya.
You not okay? So no plug. Hit him with your plug, Capital Vengeance, Captain Sir.
I am _
Just
capital.
Google Capital Vengeance.
Yeah,
It'll come
Google it.
No,
You'll find
don't
it.
Google that. Don't.
Peace.
Type the word capital.
Don't. I am _ vengeance at on Twitch.
Capital with an O.
Hopefully be back at it here pretty soon now that my PC is on the way back. So that'll be fun. If all the stars align, my emote will approve before I get,
I'm sure
before
it
I
will.
go back on. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Well, cheese out. Catch y'all next week.
Don't ever use that sign off.
That is the cheese out.